Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rite 41-0114. This is an adapter assembly for the 4570 trim. Let's take a closer look at the item itself, and I'll give you some basic dimensional properties of the item. Tailpiece, the female end of the adapter. Okay, probably just a tape measure would be adequate for this. There's not a lot of, I don't know that there's any other Rite items that even look remotely like this. So the dimensions are provided just to help you determine if you're comfortable with what it is. Looks like it's about 7/8 overall length. Diameter of the body itself looks like it's about 1/2 of an inch. The 4570 is going to be a lever trim, right? Latch operator, lever trim. On the back of that, there's going to be a tailpiece, a cam, a tailpiece assembly. The 4570 is used in those ICU applications. So in intensive care units, there are sliding doors. They're basically aluminum storefront doors is what they are, and they've got aluminum storefront hardware on them. They have typical Rite hardware that has been put together in a unique way that then qualifies it as an ICU latch operator. Suffice it to say, those are the types of doors that are going to get a huge amount of volume over them. Not only cycles per day, but just cycles per year. But the cycles per day are 24 hours a day. It's not like the front door of a business where it's locked, I don't know, 12 hours a day. That has low or moderate traffic. This is an ICU, so there's going to be people coming in all the time and out, and I would think in certain instances come in and out in a rush, which does serve to put extra strain on hardware. A very simple piece of equipment like this assembly adapter is something that's going to fatigue and fail with that sort of high volume use. Let's take a look at the supporting documentation. Let's switch to the screen view right now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. We have some photographs that I'd like to show you. There's our item, a roll pin keeping that tailpiece captive. Another perspective on it. A little bit more than the underside. So our item actually looks like this. These are customer supplied photos, and this shows you exactly how that 4570 is used in this ICU application. And you're going to have a 5017 lock body that I'll show you in a minute. That's going to be in the edge of the door. So cut sheet. Let's take a look at the 4570 latch operator. This is the trim that you have. This is the trim that you need a part for. This is the 5017. This is the lock body in the edge of the door. That tailpiece is going to go right inside of this hub. This very robust lock body is not going to break on you. That very robust lever trim is not going to break on you. It's the piece that goes between the two. You probably find, if you're a hospital, it might be worth your while to have a half a dozen on the shelf. You know, a typical ICU is going to have 24 of these doors or more, just in one area. And that's probably in a moderately sized hospital. Teaching hospitals, University of Chicago, places like that, the volume per day is just staggering, how many times those doors are cycled. We also have installation instructions for the ICU 4570 by 5017. And voila, there it is. Actuator assembly. So, as I kind of said earlier, they're taking parts that are otherwise typical and they're hybriding them together to solve a client's particular application. In this case, sliding ICU doors. Pretty brilliant. So that'll get you more information about what it looks like and where it goes. lock body is going to go in. Your 410114 is going to go on, then your 4570 is going to go over it, and you're going to through bolt those together. I don't know that they're through bolted. And I don't know that I have any additional information on it. Let's see if we do. There's a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page. And when you click on that, you'll be able to pull up not only all of the Adams Rite products we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's product catalog. But the parts manual is what I was going for. There's a 2019 parts manual here. And let's pull that up. 45, let's look, oh, where did we go? Let's go for 4570. Let's see if we can find something. The problem is much of the Adams Rite product line is in the parts manual. Unfortunately, much of it is not. And apparently there is no... Yeah, unfortunately there is no reference to it in here. So this installation instructions is probably the closest that you're going to get to any parts. But at the end of the day, it's the lock body, it's the trim, and it's the actuator assembly, the 400114. Also on this page will be other documents. Obviously that price list I mentioned. Encyclopedic documents will be here, and if anything relevant to Adams Rite exists in terms of it being a document, this is the page where we would put that information. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here it is, 41-0114. If you have any questions on this or any other Adams Rite product, please feel free to reach out to us, Adapter Assembly. I will say Adams Rite is I like Adams Rite. I remember 30 plus years ago when I first saw their catalog, I found that I was referring to it not as much as a Schlage catalog or a Von Duprin catalog or LCN, but when I had a problem that didn't have a straightforward solution in terms of hardware, the Adams Rite catalog served more as my picture book, my idea book. I've been able to force, mate, or hybrid different Adams Rite items together to solve problems, and I'm not sure where that comes from, short of just the diversity of what's in the product catalog. Clearly, that's what they've done here. They've taken otherwise typical hardware and forced it to work on hospital sliding doors. Their tech support people are really good in the sense of they're thoroughly responsive. They, without exception, over the years, in fact decades, have always responded. If not quickly, reasonably quick. Always reasonably quick. I've called there a couple of times. Maybe the answer wasn't correct over the decades. Got a subsequent follow-up call to get it all sorted out. But they're really good. And the key is they respond. And in an environment where that seems to be a more scarce commodity or skill as the years go on, Adams Rite has stuck to it, and to them for that I say thank you. Any questions on the 41-0114 adapter assembly? They're priced and sold as each. This is just my stock. Or any other Adams Rite product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you. Thanks to our clients, Architectural Builder Supply is building an additional facility, and what follows is not only a look at the acreage that we're building the facility on, but also first the architectural renderings as they exist, or at least the architectural plans as they exist at this time. Thank you very much. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a look at the architecturals as they exist at this moment, or at least it wouldn't be proper to call these architecturals, but it would be proper to call them renderings in the sense of they're conceptual drawings, they're not renderings. So the entire space is going to look like this in terms of a site rendering. This will be a 22,000 square foot building, of which will have specific purpose areas. There'll be a workshop down here. This is a few thousand square feet that will be likely woodworking, metalworking, CNC, things of that nature. This will be an office area here, a private office area. This will be architectural builders supply expanded storage area where we will be able to do fulfillment. The entire space in the center is going to be all of the volume, as I call it. Large components will be able to be stored and stocked there. Machinery that's too large to fit otherwise may be put out here. Specific facility rooms, and then some recreation over here. Let's take a look at that drone footage, and thank you very much for taking a look.